Obama exposes the left's plan without knowing it. He ends up telling you how they're all lying about working with the other side and, hey, it's time to end this lawfare. Welcome to John Mike Keane. This is Barack Obama about to snow you over. In fact, if you put one corncob pipe and a button nose on him, he would be the snowman.
There are going to be times, potentially, when one side tries to stack the deck and lock in a permanent grip on power.
He's uncomfortable saying that you're going to lock in a permanent grip on power with our evil tactics, but even he knows that's too embarrassing. I'm going to replay that pause. I have not seen Barack Obama be at loss for words like this in a long time. Permanent grip on power. Watch this.
A permanent grip on power.
By making illegals vote. That was what they tried to do to get their permanent grip on power. He's always implying this only applies to Republicans, even though Democrats did all of this stuff 10 times worse. They're so much worse at this than we are. And that's why this guy is lying. He's out of power. Of course, he's sitting there licking his wounds. Obama's in exile, we could say.
Either by actively suppressing votes or politicizing the armed forces or using the judiciary, the criminal justice system to go after opponents.
Who did that? Use the judiciary to go after political opponents. Who did that? See, that's what they're afraid, is that Trump is going to prosecute. Well, they're afraid that he was going to hit Hunter Biden, but Jim Biden, Joe Biden, Merrick Garland, Jack Smith, Fonnie Willis, Letitia James, the whole Department of Justice, Alejandro Mayorkas, now that Barack Obama legit fears justice, they're gonna call this Trump is uniquely, and he's the only one who ever went after persecuted opponents. Even though Trump is a multi-time felon, they invented it to make him a multi-count felon, shot him twice, tried to throw him in jail, tried to bankrupt him with the Letitia James and the New York lawsuits. They're the ones who did this, and he wants you to forget. Now, I'm going to show you where he got that tactic from, that you always accuse the opponent of what you intend to do. It has a very old source.
And in those circumstances, pluralism does not call for us to just stand back and say, well, I'm not sure. That's okay.
Now, this is the scariest of all. He knows that he's a pluralist and that the Democrat Party has called for pluralism. Pluralism, it's kind of a postmodern term, but it's like a plurality of values existing at the same time. By the way, even when they're in opposition, they can believe that they're both true at the same time and in the same way, which is false. But pluralism is what they've run on. Pluralism, you guys have your beliefs, we have ours. And now he's rejecting that. He's rejecting their own DNA, saying, you might think pluralism, that's what we're going to do. It's going to be okay. And he's going, we must reject.
In those circumstances, a line has been crossed, and we have to stand firm.
Okay, now you have to stand firm and stand against your line and go against the Republicans, what he's going to call weaponizing the government against them, even though that's what they did to us. He got that from this guy, Karl Marx. Accuse your enemy of what you were doing as you're doing it to create confusion. That's Karl Marx, the father of communism. And it's also Barack Obama, the father of the modern Democrat Party.
But at the end of the day, I think the American people have watched for the last 4 years us getting, this administration beating conservatives into the ground.
That's the Chris Salcido show. Beating conservatives into the ground using lawfare. Now, what do you do in response when the conservatives have the upper hand? Do we just go, well, rules and laws mean that we can't prosecute our enemies? You must prosecute them if they did something wrong.
They're not playing games here. Like, this is the Democratic Party tried to put a lot of conservatives, and they successfully put a lot of people in jail for political reasons.
And that is true. We have to always remember that. And they will do it again. If Republicans do not prosecute this stuff, the Democrats are going to do it again. What do you guys think in the chat? Is it time for forgiveness and reaching out to the other side and unity? Or do we take this unique time when we have the branches of government and the backing, and Trump has a mandate to go back, and you have to prosecute these liars, these people that politicize the government and went after a political opponent? We have to market that, put that out into the ether, get all of news media to cover that. And we need to start framing this conversation and doing some marketing on it.
The fact that the Senate I think that they do not recognize or understand the environment that we are really in.
And that's my big fear, because the Republicans do not understand. They're still playing Trey Gowdy, the Rhinos, Lindsey Graham, Mitt Romney, Mitch McConnell, all the conservatives in the Beltway, all of the Commentary magazine guys, all of the National Review editors, Charlie Cook, Rich Lowry, the Hoover Institution. They're so slow to grasp this. You're in a massive culture war, and they think, oh, good, now the rules can go back to normal now that Trump's in office. No, if you miss this opportunity, we all know we are all going to jail if Kamala Harris won. I'm John Mike Keene.